Hello and welcome to the IDX Broker Platinum WordPress plugin webinar. My name is Luke Walsh. I'll be your tour guide today through the Platinum plugin. We'll take a look at the WordPress plugin. We'll also take a look at Platinum and what can be done with pairing the plugin with Platinum. I've been with the company for about 5 years. We have Jeff True on as well. He's our lead sales guy, and we're going to have him in. He's been with us for a couple of years, and he's going to be in answering any questions. So if you have any questions, please post those questions into that little questions box, and Jeff will respond to those. I may choose one or two of those, maybe more as time allows, and address those questions with the group if it's something that may be helpful to the group, since not everybody will see the questions that get posted in there. So if you're having any technical difficulties, please note that you can ping me if you have if you're able to get access. You can ping me and let me know. Usually when there are technical difficulties, it happens all at once, and so we'll get a whole bunch of those at once, or most likely the cause is something on your end. So you may need to restart your machine or restart your browser in order to view the webinar. So it's a good sign. Right now I'm not getting any comments about missing audio or not hearing anything. So it sounds like the audio is working for most people on the webinar. That's good to hear. So we'll go ahead and get started with this. We have had some problems in the past with the GoToMeeting webinars and audio, mostly on their end, but that hasn't happened recently, so this is a good sign. So just to kick off the webinar and kind of talk about what WordPress, how WordPress and IDX Broker Platinum work. Essentially, the plugin takes IDX Broker links, page links, and embeds those inside of your WordPress site. And you can also embed widgets inside your WordPress site, and I'll get into the details of that in a minute. There are many different ways to embed the plugin. So you can have the plugin, but you can also have a custom theme. And we provide a page. We have a page called, if you just go to idxbroker.com themes, it'll redirect you to the page. And there are some theme providers that are out there that provide these themes that work directly with they kind of work with the plugin. So you can manage your account using the IDX Broker Platinum plugin and from within the IDX Broker Platinum control panel, and then also these themes may have their own options embedded as well. So there's a lot of there are a lot of options out there for you. Most of the time, you just you pay a slight premium for a theme, maybe $50, $100, whatever whatever they may charge, and then that just basically what it does is it gives you a better sort of out-of-the-box WordPress site experience with IDX Broker Platinum, because these themes have been are working with Platinum and with the plugin to give you a relatively your visitors a relatively seamless experience. So again, that's idxbroker.com/themes, and then it'll redirect to this page since that URL is a little more complicated. So let's go back to this is the page I want. So the plugin page and how that works. So to find the plugin page, you would just go to WordPress.org and then type in IDX Broker Platinum, and it'll take you right to the plugin. The other thing you can do is you can go from your dashboard, your WordPress dashboard. Close this. Go to your WordPress dashboard and just go to Plugins, and then you can go to Add New, and from there you can search for IDX Broker and install from within WordPress as well. So that's one way to handle that. The other way is just to go directly to WordPress.org and then download the plugin. And many of you are already probably familiar with this plugin. A quick question here on the themes, since I was just talking about those. Yes, I think the question is, are the themes responsive, or if you have a responsive theme, does it work well with IDX Broker Platinum? And the answer is yes. The turnkey theme itself is responsive, and then what you can do is you can turn off the mobile responsive, or the mobile mobile wrapper pages. And I'll get into the details of this a little bit later. I don't want to confuse anybody, but basically we have two different ways to display mobile pages. One is with the mobile wrapper, which really gives you kind of I would call the equivalent of a app. So you're almost like a mobile application, so an iOS app or Samsung app, or what, basically an application that, and again, I'll get into how the two are different here in a minute, but just wanted to answer that question and get that one out of the way. So let's go move on here to the, I've got a lot to cover, so I'll try to cover as much as I can, and starting with the Platinum plugin. Once you've installed the plugin and you've activated it, then you'll come in here, and when you've activated your IDX Broker Platinum account, we send you an email that in that email contains that email will contain an API key, and then you just plug that API key in here, and that's how you essentially you can hit refresh, and then that will pull in everything that you need for your account, right? So what it's pulling in are page links and widgets. So we have a default set of widgets that we give you, and I'll show you widgets in a minute. And we have a default set of page links, system navigation links, mortgage calculator, advanced search, all these pages. These are dynamically created for you, so they're automatically available to you. All you need to do is add the items in here or check the boxes. Custom links are a little different. Those are links that you would add. And again, I'll get into that a little bit later. I'll follow this step by step. I just want to give you an overview of sort of how it works and how this API key works. That API key is where we're getting the information to display everything within either the widgets in your WordPress site or link to the correct pages within IDX Broker Platinum. So moving on to number 2, once you've entered the API key, then you go on and essentially you're, depending on your theme, you're going to want to drag and drop a widget in, and these widgets are basically, as you can see, you can rename them if you'd like, and then once you drag and drop that into your sidebar, you could delete too. I'll show you what it looks like. So here's the equivalent. Close that one. So this is just an example site, and this is just out of the box. This isn't using any theme, but this is just an example site to show you how it works. So here I've dropped 2 widgets in to my sidebar, right? So now these 2 widgets, the featured listing widget and the quick search widget, are now in the sidebar, okay? Because I put quick search, IDX quick search, and IDX featured slideshow in there. Okay, these are default widgets that we provide. If you wanted to go in and modify those widgets, you would log into your IDX Broker Platinum control panel, and then go to Designs and Widgets, and from there you can manage your widgets or you can create new widgets. We have a lot of different widgets available to you. We have, and this, you may not want to put this in the sidebar, but we've got a map widget. You could put that into a page. But there are a tremendous amount of widgets here, and you would just create these in here, go through this process. Let's say you want a lead sign-up widget. So we have a new feature called responsive. Do you want that widget to be responsive? And you can click yes. And what that does is that'll ensure that if you have a responsive theme, that widget will resize based on that theme. So it's not a fixed width on the widget, it's actually a percentage width. Okay, and then you would just call this lead sign up, build the widget, and then you could preview it. And there's new account sign up. Now if you want to, it's going to show up here because it's just a preview, and this is really pulling the design from your WordPress site. So notice that this up here we have it wptestaccount.idxbroker.com. That's the default URL, and I'll get into this a little bit later, and SEO and so on. But you can change that to a custom subdomain. So you come in here and then back to widgets. So now I have this widget, and I called that lead sign up. That's my new widget. Okay, it's available. I don't have to view the code because I can just go back to my WordPress site, and I'll go back into let's go back to settings and to Platinum. And from here, I'll just refresh the API. And what that should do is it should pull in those that new widget for me. So I've created a new widget, and then I'll come in here and see if we can find that widget in here. We've got a couple duplicates, it looks like, but yeah. So IDX lead sign up. I've got my primary sidebar. Let's say I want to put it in here. Now, right out of the box, it's not going to necessarily be styled up exactly to match my theme out of the box, but I've created a widget. I've easily created a widget, and it's incredibly powerful because I've been able to do it within IDX Broker Platinum. In many cases, you know, the creation of a widget is very difficult to do from within WordPress itself. We're working on ways to further integrate with WordPress so that you wouldn't have to go to the control panel for such things. But this is really the way that you're going to do it, and it's a very once you learn to go back and forth between the control panels, it's very seamless and straightforward, and you'll find that the power of just having all of this in the control panel and also the security, the fact that this is locked down, and many WordPress sites are actually relatively insecure relative to the servers that we've set up and locked down. You're able to have a secure place to go to add widgets and create widgets and so on. So that's what you would do. So then if I go here and I click on this and hit F5 and refresh, and there's my new account sign up, right? So I've just created a new account sign up widget. All I've done is I've created it in IDX Broker Platinum and then dragged it and hit refresh on the API key in the plugin, and then and then dragged and dropped it into my sidebar. So that's how you create a widget or add a widget to the page. So let's go to the next item. So the next item is the system navigation links. Okay, so the way this works is you would add any system links that you want. Let's say you have sold pending, you want featured listings, and you would save changes. So I've got featured and sold pending. So if I go here to appearance, and this is important because if you check these boxes, all you're doing is really making that link available to your WordPress site, and then you still have to go into the menus area, and you'll want to navigate and create your menus from here. So this is where I have my custom menu. And I do have looks like a couple questions here. If you have an existing account and you have any questions about that account, I would just send those questions to help@idxbroker.com. And then a question about the API key. The API key is a single key and it's secure to one account. So that's your key. So it is not a case of having multiple API keys. That's not something that's possible. And then a question about, I forgot to mention that I am recording the webinar, so you will have access to it afterwards. So if it looks like somebody maybe have to present an offer today or right now. So those things come up. Just note that we post all of our webinars to youtube.com, and so our YouTube channel is available we'll send you a link after the webinar is over, and it'll automatically go out to you, and it'll be a link to that to the website. And it's IDX Incorporated, so it would be youtube.com/IDX Incorporated. Or you could wait for that email, or you could just reply to the email that we sent you at webinars and we'll send you the link if you need it. So let's take a look here at the menu. So here now I've created, if I go to all, actually these are most recent. So WordPress recognizes that I just added these pages. page links. So then I go in here and I want sold, pending, and featured. Let's say I just want featured. So I add to the menu. Okay. But I want to move this around, so I move it here, and then I click Save. Okay. So there. So now I go here and I'm saved. I've got that. I should have featured in here as soon as I hit refresh, F5, and there's featured. Now I could rename that if I wanted to. I could call it whatever I want. But then that goes to a page that matches the look and feel of my site, and it's my featured listings. Okay. So it's got all the featured listings in there, and I just set up some mock featured listings here for this account, but it's set up there. Now you'll notice that the navigation is off a little bit. This is one of the tricks to having everything in. So one of the advantages of having everything locked down to IDX Broker Platinum servers is that you can kind of have a sense of security that those pages are never going to go down. Your IDX pages are always going to be up. We have 99% uptime. A lot of times WordPress sites get hacked, or there are problems or what have you. Those IDX pages will always be up. And then we cache. We do what's called a cache of it's kind of a snapshot of your design. And so we do that in order to so that our servers are not hitting your WordPress site all the time to pull in that information. So you would just come in here, and we're working on a more seamless way to do this so that you could do this within your plugin, or it would automatically do it. But for now, you just come in and clear the wrapper cache. And then if I go to this page, whoops, that's not the page I want, this page. If I go to this page and I hit F5, you'll see that featured will show up now. So there. So now I've got featured in the menu navigation. So your IDX Broker pages now, all from that one click. And note that that's not a requirement. If you're willing to wait an hour, our servers will catch up to that menu change that you've made if you've set up a dynamic wrapper. And so you're not having to go back and forth as much between the control panel and your WordPress site. So you're able to do a lot from within your WordPress control panel. So there's your navigation, and then you'll see that it matches this. All right, so let's go back down to here to the Platinum plugin, and let's take a look at number 4, and that's adding custom links. So anytime you want to add custom links, you can do that in here, or you can actually add them in here. Let me show you where you add them in Platinum. And you can add a tremendous amount of options here as far as custom links. So you can use any of these search pages. If you build your own search page, you can build a custom link that's based on your own search page. But I won't get into all the details of the custom links just now. I'll do that a little bit later. But I just want to show you how it works. So you create a custom link, and then if I look at if I manage my links, and I look at all the custom links I've created, those are all going to show up here in here, right? So if I have custom links and I want to add those to my navigation, I would do the same thing that I did for these system navigation links. I would go to my appearance and my menus, and I would add the custom links in there once I've added them here. Okay. So here I've got Eugene's home search. And that's a custom link. You can also add a custom link from what's called from the shortcode. So there's technically a step 5, and that is that anytime if you'd like to add a custom link to a shortcode or via a shortcode, you can do that. And it shows here's your system links, here's your saved links. These are all my saved links. So if I want to, insert Eugene home search, I can do that, and then I can type in, whatever I want, whether Eugene real estate for sale, and then down here I could put, whatever content I want in here, and type out, maybe I have information about Eugene. Maybe there's some information about the market. Maybe there's some widget that I'd like to embed in my WordPress site, and then within that text, you can have Eugene Home Search. You can have that link, embed that link without having to create HTML code for that. So that's a shortcode option, and that's through the little IDX logo. Okay, so that's how you would do that. And then, so that covers really the usage. Once you've set it up and you've got it going, there isn't a lot of really the shortcodes are probably where you're going to do the most work, because as you create new pages or new items, you're going to add that in. Now, if you create new widgets, you may want to come back in here and modify those widgets or add them to your sidebar. But most people, once they set things up, they like to set it up and then use the site or the blog to generate traffic. So you can create that. You can do that through the shortcodes. And by adding really anything that's available in IDX Broker Platinum, including widgets. You could also embed widgets. So a good example is a map search, and I'll show you the widgets here in a minute and what's available to you. But just, I think the important thing is to recognize that everything that you set up, everything that you create within IDX Broker Platinum becomes available to you in a very simple way through the IDX Broker Platinum plugin. So the goal of it is to help you embed everything easily and then manage it as well using the WordPress interface. So now that we've set that up, I want to talk a little bit, kind of more at a high level in terms of, why you would do that, why you would be, have WordPress and then you would have IDX Broker Platinum and the two communicating rather than have, something where everything just gets, automatically pushed through your WordPress site. One of the advantages is that you're able to customize it, so you're able to create actual unique content for your WordPress site that that makes it more valuable. There are, I think that sometimes people get caught up in the notion of having something that just is automated for you and it creates everything on the fly. I think what people don't realize is that actually creates no competitive advantage. So you're not doing anything because you're not making any of the content on your site unique, and there are other sites that have the same or similar content, and especially IDX content, then you're not really creating a whole lot of value there, and so the search engines are not going to come and look at that as a tremendous value. They're going to see it as, oh yeah, we see this elsewhere, and that's great, but you'll still get indexed because you have different content on your blog to some degree, but you're not going to get that same level of indexing that we see with some of these custom links when people build out custom neighborhood pages and links and so on. And I'll get into some of the details on that in a minute. But in the meantime, let's just talk about the custom subdomain. So this is the answer for those of you that may be concerned about, hey, I'm pulling in these links and then somebody clicks on them and they go off to my site number1realtor.idxbroker.com. I don't want them to go to idxbroker.com or a subdomain of idxbroker.com. I want them to go to my own site. So there's a couple different ways to handle that. One is to you could set up a custom subdomain or custom domain that is search.yoursite.com. In this case, it's a little confusing because this is set up as a demo as idxbroker.com, but that's because that's where we're hosting it. This would show yoursite.com, whatever your site is, and then this would say yoursite.com. And then here, and you have control over this, so you can actually come into your, log into your account page and set up your custom subdomain. We have some great knowledge base articles on this topic. And if you don't know how to do it, you would just go to the knowledge base, and if you have GoDaddy for your DNS, you can set it up through GoDaddy. And then basically you can set it up as either, if you're not using the www version right now, you could set it up as www. So you could have www.yoursite.com. Because Google considers www as technically a subdomain. So many sites redirect their non-www pages to www pages. So if you do that, you want to make sure you check with your webmaster if you have one, or just double check yourself You won't want to set up a www as your custom subdomain, in which case you would do something like, we see this a lot, search dot or listings dot or something along those lines. Okay. So what that does is that gives you, essentially it pairs up, for the search engines, it pairs up your site with that subdomain. So those two are treated as if they're one, as if in results, they're going to be treated as if it's one main primary subdomain. And you can check that by going to site : if you go into google.com and then go to site : and then I think it's / and then or I apologize, it's actually site : and then your website, your domain, your primary domain. And you'll see that when you do that, you'll see a count of the number of links that you're getting to that domain, or number of indexed links. You're also going to see subdomain pages in there. So you'll see, if you have a subdomain off your primary domain, you'll see that showing up as well. So that's the concept behind having a custom subdomain. It makes those pages more like your pages, like it's your domain for search engine purposes, in terms of indexing those. So the other piece that I want to touch on is save links and setting that up correctly. Oh, whoops. Let me go back here and turn that off. Okay, so we're not going to, I didn't have a DNS set up for this, so we'll take a look now at saved links and how that works. So from saved links, and again, if you recall, this is, if I go back, I'll show you where that shows up. So here, oh, it's loading. Yeah, so here, these are the saved links. These are the ones that I've already created, but you have an unlimited number of saved links that you can create. And we have some great new features that we've just launched within the last couple of months for your saved links. One of them is Polygon. So you can build a polygon, and this is great for, I think a good example, a good use of this is, we see this happen all the time. The MLS will send 4 different versions of a neighborhood. The neighborhood name may have just 4 different iterations of the language, because they're not mapping that. They're allowing all the agents to just make it a free-for-all and a free-form input. One of the best ways to defeat that is to really get in here and build your own polygon search. So you can come in here and say, let's say I want everything within a couple blocks of the University of Oregon. So I would just, obviously with a polygon search, you're probably going to want to zoom in a little bit more. So in this case, I would recommend you zoom in so that you get you'll get the hang of the polygon once you get in there and move it around. But you'll be on one. Make sure you're on the right side of the street when you're building this. Make sure you follow the street markers and so on. I made a slightly sloppy polygon search, but I just wanted to show you how that works, and then how down here you can come in here and you can, if you have multiple MLSs, you can include that. You can include all, or you choose your MLS. The other thing you can do is you can focus on specific property types within that MLS. And again, this is back to how powerful Platinum can be once you get those links set up on your site, and then you start leveraging some of the tools within IDX Broker Platinum. So you've got here, you can choose, you could build custom links for each property type. So you could actually build a polygon for a property type in a specific area, and then that would be its own search. That would be its own results page. Okay, so you could build that results page, and then of course you can customize the subheader in that results page as well. So in this case, we'll just go to single family residential, no min max, bathrooms, and I'll do next step. So these are the SEO settings. These are the next step. We call it SEO settings because you're going to call this, University of Oregon, and maybe going back. I mean, in hindsight, I think probably I would have chosen rentals. Maybe that's if you're focusing on that, or sales. If you want to resell, maybe it's multi family units, and you want to resell those to people that to people that want to be landlords. So you type in University of Oregon, multifamily housing, and there's your URL. Okay. Now, if you set up a custom subdomain, it would show up search.yoursite.com, and then that's not changeable. And then this part's changeable. So this is the SEO setting. This is where you change that URL to make it more search engine friendly. Now, on this page, do you want to set up your own meta tags? Yeah, you can type in whatever you want in terms of, put in some meta tags. That's a description. So that's what shows up in Google search results underneath the page link, which the page link would look like this, and then the page title tag would be this. So then the title tag would be, you'd want to make that look clean too, and then that would encourage people to click on that. These custom links are probably the most powerful way for you to get pages indexed because, and especially if combined with that custom subdomain, you're creating unique content that gets updated every day. Not only that, but with a Polygon search, you're going to have even more unique content because you're focusing on a very specific area, and you're not relying on the field data provided by the MLS. So you're not relying on that MLS to send you, obviously the correct neighborhood name or what have you. It's all geographic. So you would never have to change that even as the data changes. And as a vendor that we deal with 550 data sets nationwide, that is one of the biggest challenges that we find that our customers face is that, as these MLSs will migrate from one vendor to the next, they'll change the field around and not really thinking about the repercussions on the IDX side and how that can break things for people, for the agents on their own websites. So this is one of the tools that we built to help make that a lot easier and prevent that from happening. So we would recommend that you do that, and then you can feature this in the showcase. This is just one of those little features that's available. It's a showcase. Essentially, it's a page link that offers a link of all of your custom links. So you could get your featured showcase link, and I'll show you where that is under pages, and then put that in your footer, and then that way the search engines will find every single page and link that you have, whether you have it in your navigation or not. So just from an SEO standpoint, this is really powerful. If you have any widgets about that neighborhood, let's say about University of Oregon, you've got a widget that you want to embed in here into the subheader. You can put that in here. You can put in text. You can put in whatever you want in this subheader area, and then that custom landing page then becomes indexable. The other thing you could do is you could say, check out my blog. Check out my blog, and what you get is if you create a link here, you create a link back to your own blog. You're just creating a backlink to your own site from a site that's probably going to get, from a page that's going to get indexed well, and probably have within a few months. Usually it takes a few months for pages to get indexed effectively. These type of pages, and then those pages kind of increase in value as people click directly on those pages because you created this unique content. So you would do that, and then link back to your blog or your site, and then that way you're just creating even more backlinks to your primary site. So these custom links are probably the most powerful thing you can tool that you can use in order to get that organic traffic without having to pay for that traffic. Now you can also take these pages once you've built them and direct traffic to them. So you could find, let's say, University of Oregon multifamily housing. You could find those keywords in AdWords, and you could advertise on that, and then direct people directly to this landing page, to this custom link. Or the other option is that you put all this content from the subheader. You put a little link back to your blog, but then you put all the content within your blog itself, or your site, and then link from that site back to your IDX broker custom link. Okay, so either way, you're benefiting because those two, the domain and the subdomain, are linked together through links. Now, if you have an office, one of the things that you can do is you can add an agent to a custom link. So you can assign a custom link to an agent, and then give it to that agent and say, go, run with this. Here's your link. Put it on your site. Yeah, it's gonna, it'll link back to the broker site and to the primary site, but you're going to get assigned that lead. So, here's the value that you're getting out of it. So you can actually get backlinks from your own agents if you're willing to get in here and build these out. So that's only obviously available on the Office accounts. So now if we go back and let's take a look at our custom links. There's our custom link, and then I can preview the link, edit the search criteria, edit preferences. In this case, I may want to, let's see, I think I want to change, I'll just change it like page title, and then I want to show you how this works, and then I come in here and I do a refresh again. And there's my University of Oregon multifamily housing. So I save changes. So I've created a polygon search filter that's filtering based on the geography, geographic area, and not on any fields provided by the MLS, which are subject to change constantly. And then I go to the menus, and then there's my item. Now this one I'll probably want to rename, so I'll just rename it, University. I'm not sure why the title, yeah, so that there. And then save. And there's my University of Oregon housing. And then I go to my site, take a look at it. So I've edited the navigation. Now I've got my University of Oregon housing. And then as you can see, if I click on this, it'll take me to that results page. And whoops, it looks like I chose the wrong filter on that. But as you can see up here, we've got, so in other words, I tightened the filter too much, so I'm not getting any results. But if you go here, you can see up here is in the URL, University of Oregon multifamily housing. So that's how you build that. That's how you build a custom link and then import it, pull it into your WordPress site. So let's take a look here. So again, you can create any number. Whoops, let's take a look at this one. So let's go back to the saved links, and you can create any number of links, any type of links that you want. So let's say I want an email update sign up link. So the email update sign up, that one, that's actually a little sign up link that basically says, next step. It points people towards a next step when they sign up and create a. I'll show you that page in a minute, but in the meantime, I want to show the map search. So the map search page allows you to set filters on the map search. Okay, so you can set min max, and then you click this, and you can drop down and choose from here. You can choose your MLS or all. You can have a little slider here for bedrooms and bathrooms. You can fly to, let's say with your map search you want to just fly to a city. So you can fly to a city and it'll take you to that city, and then from there you can set that up, save your map search, do next step, and then all the properties, all the listings in that city will show up. So that's creating a map search. We also have what's called a map widget. So if you come in here to the widgets page under Designs Widgets and go to Map Search, you can create a responsive. You say yes or no. You can see the difference is that you have a fixed width and height on a non-responsive widget, and then on a responsive widget it'll be auto set. So you could create a map search here, and specify what you want here, and center latitude and longitude, or you look it up via your address or any address, and it will generate the lat and long. Okay. So there's the Latin long based on the address. And then the page that the map is used on, that shows up here, and that basically is any page on your website. So you can host the map search page on your website somewhere, but you do have to, we do ask that you identify which page, because the map search shows results, so it shows listing results on it, and we're not able to, that's not a page that you can just add to any site. Unlike a quick search widget, you could probably add to a blog that isn't approved for the IDX data. The MLSs approve that IDX data for a reason, and they want it displayed on a certain page. Otherwise, they lose the right. The brokers will decide that they don't want to participate. So part of that participation is just ensuring that that's locked down. That's one of the things that we do and we provide on your behalf too, is that we ensure that that's going to happen. So we're going to ensure that across the board you're going to always have access to that data, because we're enforcing that for all of the clients. So let's say I'll just call this new and then build a widget, and we'll just take a look at the widget. So preview widget. And so there you've got your map search widget, and then this is how it would look inside your site. So you can customize it however you'd like. This is a new feature we've offered, where it's a clustering feature where it clusters things together, so you can see, you get the full list of, it shows all the listings that are available in a particular area, so 218 of 218. So as you zoom out, it'll show up to I think, actually the max listings is 500 that it can display, but it will show you the total here. So you'll see the total. So the people that are on your site are going to see, oh, they've got all the listings, all the listings that may be available in that MLS or multiple MLSs. So, and then of course that's something that can be added in from your shortcodes area. So if we go to posts and then add new, and then you can just click on visual, and then you can find that map widget. There's the map widget. So you would insert that map widget, and I just created this widget, so I didn't go back to the API key and refresh that or save that page, but you would need to do that. The reason why we force you to do that is that in WordPress is that we don't want WordPress to constantly be hitting the API servers because of just the sheer volume of hits that would hit our servers, and it would slow everything down. So we've set it up so you go in and refresh, and then it pulls in your new stuff. So here, if I wanted to insert, I would just insert it that way, and then there you've got your map widget, and you can call it search the map, or search this area, or whatever you want to do, or search this city, and then you've got a maps. You could create map widgets for every city, which is another point. Essentially, you can create an unlimited number of features. So you can create an unlimited number of widgets. You can create an unlimited number of custom links. You can create, let's take a look at designs. You can create an unlimited number of pages. So if I go here to pages, I can actually go in, and this will address a question that I see here posted regarding how to set up these custom search pages. You can come in here and view one of these, and then let's say you want to activate one of these pages. Just hit activate, new page, or whatever I want the page to. Let's say I want it to be my featured listings in Eugene. So I do that. There's the URL. That's for SEO purposes. Do I want to search one MLS at a time or multiple? I just do single for now. I'll go back to pages. There's my page. Okay, so I've created a brand new page, and this is a search page that's going to look just like my site, and it's not something that I've had to create within WordPress. It's not something I've had to hand code. It's very easy. Now I come in here and let's say I just want to look at it. So I want to look at that page. Okay, there's the page. Oh, I want to hide some things, and I want to filter by some options here. So I don't want to show everything. I want to filter by certain things. Let's go into that page and edit that. So I've figured out, okay, maybe I've created a city list, so I want to apply a certain city list to that page. So I would choose Florida, save changes. Obviously, it's not Florida, it's RMLS, but I'm just giving you an example. Now that I would go to search setup. And from search setup, what I'm going to do is I'll go in here and I can set the MLS. I can set the property type. I could set the property type and I could even hide it. So I could set it up so that I want it to be residential and then hide that. I don't want that to be visible. I want to set at condo and I want to hide that. Okay. And and then anything else that you want to do. So you set that up, and then the other option you can do is this is a featured listing. So I would set this up, and then I want to hide this, and maybe even that. So then I save my changes, and then I go back to my search, and hopefully that custom built bit page looks exactly the way I want it to look. A little cleaner. I've got it basically where I want it to be. And then if I go down here, let's say I want condo to not, let's say I don't want the condo data to show up. So I go to my advanced fields and I go in for the MLS, and it's residential, and I view the settings. So this is how I would change that. So first off, usually we do this for you, but in this case we didn't tidy up the casing, so you can see that it's all uppercase. You can do that by hitting the gear and then apply settings, and then it doesn't refresh right away, but it'll show it on the front end. So then let's say I want condo, or I want to just remove this actually at this point. But I do want, let's say I want, what do I want? I want short sale. So I want short sale, but I want it to be hidden. So I want condos, short sale, and then I want it all to be hidden, this to be hidden, so that people can't opt out of it. And so I can give it that name. So then I'd hide that, hit apply, and it shows me hidden values. And then I save the property layout, and then I view the page. And as you can see, it's filtering it out. We can style that up a little bit. You can style that up, the look and feel of this. So there's a lot of CSS that can be done there. If out of the box this doesn't look the way you would want it to look, then you can contact help at or support, and we can fix that. But you can see that you've customized that front-end search page. It's got the URL that you want, and then here you've got your subdomain. You'll have your custom subdomain. And that's all it took to build a search page. You built an entire search page, customized search page for a specific area, and then now you can link to that page from your WordPress site. And that's all it took, was kind of going through that process of just building a new page. Okay. So for those of you that really want to customize things, there's a tremendous amount that can be done there. So let's talk a little bit here about I want to talk a little bit about mobile and see if we can pull a listing up. So let's find a really nice, a decent listing here, Lorraine Highway. Okay, so here we've got a listing, and then I've got the lead capture there, as you can see. So the lead capture is built in. So what happened there was that it sent me back because I had set up lead capture. That's something else to cover as well, briefly, is that under lead registration preferences, you can set up the lead capture for all of your pages, and you can customize it with your own content as well. So in this case, I forced the registration, and then the listing details page has its own lead capture settings. So I'll turn that off too, and then that way I can go to that home search page and show you exactly what it needs to, whoops. if I can find that find that page again. So let's go. Looks like I created so many filters here, and this is one thing to be careful of, is that you can really drill down and create filters that are not that are a little too locked down. So you may not get results if you get too far into the filter. So let's take a look here. So we've got a details page, no lead capture, so I'm not going to get. It's not going to ask me to sign up. And then I go here to. I've downloaded a tool for Chrome. I like to use Chrome, but there's some other tools for other browsers that do the same thing. And then I want to see how it looks on a details page. So I want to see, or on an iPhone. So I'd like to see, how does this page look on an iPhone? So in this case, I've got a details page that's set up for an iPhone, but I have my mobile pages turned off. So if I go, by default, everybody has mobile wrappers set to on. I've turned it off in this case, but let's go on, and let's take a look now at how that's going to look when I hit refresh. Let's see. That's on. Okay. And we've got a details page. And we've got, for some reason, this mobile, it looks like this plugin is not able to. Normally, it works fine in terms of showing how. I'll try another. Maybe try another option here. Android. Yeah. So this user agent tester is not working. But basically what that does is that takes you, it sets it up as a mobile page, and then shows it very much like as if you were on a mobile device. So a good example is, let's take a look here at ptdemo.idxbroker.com. And this is a good place to go to sort of check out the product overall and just dig in. You can dig into the control panel from the admin login. So if you want to just try it out a little bit, you've got IDX demo. IDX demo is the username and password. And then down here, if I click on mobile, so that's an example of the mobile page. So that mobile page, that's essentially what a details page is going to look like. So I like it better. This particular example, I like it better in the. There we go. In the Samsung. So here you've got your logo, and this pulls in from the IDX Broker account automatically, and then you've got your phone number and then your name up at the top. Okay. And then whatever the page name is, so the details page name. You got, the user can save a search, save property. They're on a details page. They could click on Facebook and they could share it from their phone, so they can go in and just share the listing. And we set OG tags, and that's just a fancy word for saying that we send the first image to Facebook in a tag, and then we also send the description in a tag or title in a tag, so that the Facebook picks up the correct information. So we've integrated that well, and then share this, I believe, pulls that information in and does that. We just provide it on the page if you have those tags in your theme. Here you can view a photo gallery. The user can do that. They can see the advanced features, and then they've got these buttons, so it's easy to tap a button and then click contact, and then they can contact you from here. They can type in their name and say, I love this property, or whatever. So what happens is, the most common use for this is a scenario where you've set up, let's say you have searches set up for certain people, right? You have a search set up, and you've got the mobile pages turned on, and then those emails go out to people, to your clients. When that person clicks on a property, in one of those emails, and the emails are automatically generated as new listings match that search criteria. Just to give you a visual sense for what I'm talking about. If I go to manage leads, and then I go in here and I have the lead info, or I could log in as the lead, but I want to go to lead info and save searches, and I want to create a search for this lead, or they've created their own. I can create a saved search based on any criteria for that lead, for that person. Or, like I said, they can do it on their own. And then as you get these people signing up, they get emails, right? So those emails go directly, as I said, to this page if they're using a mobile device. And most people view emails in a mobile device. A lot of people do. And so they'll get this nicely polished details page when they click on the link, and it'll have your logo, it'll have your phone number readily available, and a contact form at the bottom, and then that way they can view the property, but they can also act on it. So it creates an action for that, or essentially a call to action. So they know that, well, if I want to know more about this property, I want to either tap on that button and then it'll dial you. Or maybe I save the property and I check it out later. There's a tremendous amount that can be done with these mobile pages, just the way they're set up. So, and that's out of the box. So out of the box, we turn that mobile wrapper on, and so you have a tremendous amount of flexibility. If you want a fully mobile responsive site, then that's slightly different animal. That's where you turn these mobile pages off, and then you use your theme to create a responsive kind of a. You display almost the entire desktop. That, for instance, I showed that details page or something like this, which showed the whole page, and then but then it would shrink down to fit a mobile device. So a good example is, let's take a look at, if I go to IDX Broker themes, and then let's go to the agent evolution. Oops, actually I want to go to the demo. So if I go to turnkey, and then I want to look at the demo. So mobile responsive is a little different from what we built, but it can be done if you have the theme, if your theme is mobile responsive. The reason why I say that a mobile responsive is great, but that you may want to stick with the mobile wrappers that we've provided, is that we've created a way for you to, and it looks like unfortunately their demo appears to be down, but it gives you a way to essentially create a mobile experience that's very simplified and gives people what they want, and especially with those details pages. So for most people, I would recommend just leaving those mobile wrappers on, and while that may not be a perfect, the perfect seamless solution where the theme looks, or the mobile pages look exactly as the theme looks, you're getting the branding in there. You can change the formatting of the actual. You could change this. So one of the great parts about having this, being able to set up an emulator, or not an emulator, but use a user agent spoofer in the browser, is that you can go in and identify where that mobile header is, and you could even change the color of that mobile header. So if I want the background to be, I can see the example of, let's say I don't know what kind of, let's go a little lighter. Looks like, let's take a look here. Background image. So if you have, there we go. So see, if I want a gradient on it, I can set that up. I could just change the value for background image for IDX mobile homes header. Okay. So the CSS, there's a tremendous amount that can be done with CSS. So you're not stuck with an out-of-the-box solution. And like I said, the reason why Platinum is so effective from an SEO standpoint, from a mobile standpoint, from a customization standpoint, is that you have so many options. Whether you take advantage of those options now, it's not necessary, because out of the box you can create a great solution with just kind of knowing the basics, and then as you learn more about the system and learn more about the product, you can add things later. So yeah, so I'll close this one, and I'll leave you with the mobile themes page and actually our own website. If you have any questions, feel free to call our sales line, and there's an 800 number at the top. We always have webinars going on, so you can also check for webinars depending on whether you're an agent or office, and take it from there. Again, the webinar today was recorded, and so you'll have access to the recorded webinar within probably 24 hours. We usually upload it within that period of time, so you should have it soon. And I thank you for attending the webinar, and have a great afternoon.